Welcome to Something to Say, where we bring voices from diverse backgrounds who will share their unique stories and perspectives on finding their passion and provide insights on how you can find yours. Join us as host Greg DeShields guides us through this enlightening journey.
Welcome to Something to Say podcast, a unique platform that amplifies the voices of individuals from various backgrounds sharing their passions. I'm your host, Greg DeShields, and I'm pleased to bring you another episode. Thank you for joining us. And as your host, we welcome DJ Alexander Jokinsky. Alexander is an acclaimed DJ, producer, and songwriter who has been a driving force in the music and event production industry for over a decade. With a career spanning more than 450 events across New York City, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas, Alexander has established himself as the go-to entertainer for corporate events, weddings, festivals, and private parties. Known for his ability to read a crowd and curate the perfect soundtrack for any occasion, Alexander has worked with high profile clients, including CEOs, marketing professionals, directors, and event planners, to create memorable experience. His bilingual skills and versatility as a DJ and MC have made him a sought after performer in both English and Spanish speaking communities. In addition to his DJ career, Alexander is also a talented songwriter and pianist, blending his love for classical music and modern sounds. He has collaborated with industry professionals and is ready to embark upon a new songwriting venture. Alexander currently operates his own marketing production company, where he combines his passion for both music and his business acumen to offer comprehensive event services. His ability to engage with audiences and his deep understanding of music have earned him a loyal following in multiple states. Whether it's a sophisticated corporate gathering of a lively festival, Alexander is set to provide the necessary energy, creativity, and seamless mixing that leaves the audience eager for more. Welcome, Alexander. Alexander, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today on Something to Say podcast.
Thank you for having me, Greg. It is an honor to be here.
You know, I've learned a lot about you in preparing for this podcast, and I'm really anxious to dive into our conversation about probably what you might be surprised to know, something that is near and dear and deep to my heart, which is music and nightlife and entertainment and dance. So, who better to kind of help to expand upon that? But thank you for that, and I'm sure our audience is going to benefit from all you share with us.
You're welcome, Greg. This is something I really love. I have a passion for it. I treat it in every detail as much as my mind can put together mathematically, because there's a lot of math involved in music, and there's also diversity, and there's culture, and there's so many things, arrangements, percussions that involves in making a good. For me, it's pretty much a dance parties and stuff as this.
Fantastic. All right, before we begin, I also have to give you a shout out. Excellent background. We love being engaged in nature, especially this time of year when the leaves are changing. So, good choice on your part to do your interview outdoors.
Thanks.
So, I do want to dive into things, and we know that you are a very busy person between the networking, the business relationships that you have, and of course, the amount of travel you have. But when we conduct our interviews at Something to Say, we always like to begin with some get to know you questions. We think that for our audience, it's a great way for them to get a better perspective of you. So
Mhm.
we'll start with just some icebreaker questions. So are you up for that?
Let's do it.
All right. So let's begin with a few icebreaker questions. We'll start with some really easy ones. So, what's your favorite childhood memory?
Well, I can take it back. I was in my aunt's house and she was with her husband, and I was invited in by her husband to come to his office. And he was an insurance seller. He is still currently an insurance seller. And he showed me the piano, and he also showed me graffiti. When I saw that at that age, that was my world. I was like, "Oh my god, how can I like there's so much this is like my life work right here. Like there's so much I can do from this." That's like my all-time favorite.
Fantastic. It's always great when you have that family member that can connect you to what will ultimately become a passion and leave you with that really motivational memory. So thanks for sharing that. All right,
Mhm.
so here's one that I'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest failure and what did you learn from that experience?
I think one of my biggest failure would be the obsession of making perfection in music. Once I realized that everybody plays a piece differently.
Mm.
For example, each human is a different human. It's different heartbeat. There's different things going on in his body, and when he expresses, it sounds differently. So everyone has the unique power of making a song personal to them, and change the value of it too.
Well, you are unfolding a much deeper interpretation of music and certainly what it means to us as we listen to it and what it means to us. So I'm anxious to dive deeper and get even more insight from you. But here's a question that we ask, and often we get some very interesting responses. So, of course, we're anxious to hear yours. So, if you could have dinner with any historical figure, who would that be and why?
That's a great question, Greg. There's so many important people in history that I honor, that I have passion for. I mean, if you're talking about historically, as in America, or you talking about historically in the arts?
We would give you a lot of latitude to choose who really influences you, I would say.
Well, I'm influenced by people like Benjamin Franklin. Like he's one of the founding fathers of this great nation that we live in, and he's innovative. He's an inventor. He does so many different things, and he's an entrepreneur. He's someone that I kind of look up to, and like in a way, like, man, he did great things in this world.
It's
You know.
interesting you point him out. There was someone else who actually acknowledged Benjamin Franklin. Actually, I take that back. It was 2 people, and one actually was with the arts. The president of the film office here in Philadelphia had pointed him
Mhm.
out. But there was another person who is very much into wineries, especially in Paris, and she had talked about the connection, with Ben Franklin in Paris. So, great choice on your part. But I think
Thanks.
it's important for us to dive a little bit more and learn more about your story. So, can you tell us about your music journey?
Well, last time I was in Vegas, I was actually with the band Journey, so I can tell you all about it. My music journey started as a songwriter. So I would write poems and create them into a song. And then I would start using my vocals and lyrics and then understanding the intro and everything else before actually moving to the next step of actually playing an instrument. So now when I'm songwriting, I kind of just talk to the piano, sing to the piano while I put the chords together. That's one step. And then I want to learn the arrangement and as well. The most important part, the business aspect of music, because I love what I do, but I also have to make a living because without that, I cannot do the other. So all those aspects in the music, it's very important for me to continue my journey. Um, I'm making other people dance and making other people's day better.
But from how you've described music, how did you move from perhaps some of the classical or the creative interpretation of music to dance? Or is there a stronger connection than perhaps we realize, the kind of music that you would play as a DJ?
Well, I'm a biracial person, so I come from different cultures. So when you come to European and dance music started, and I was really, really deep into hip hop, running DMC, the culture, and just all the great things that happen. And then at the same time, being able to speak Spanish, my mother used to always love to take me to Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, whatever it is out there. So I kind of mix all that in together into the music. So I will have some EDM, some hip hop, and some like congos, bongos, or that type of style into the percussions, and just make a dance song because it's such a diverse um, fusion of music at the current moment.
And it's interesting how you've evolved throughout your career and engaging with a variety of different type of artists and a bunch of different music styles. But you did talk about the business of music or the business of entertainment. And to that degree, I wanted to ask you, as someone who looks at it from a business perspective, how big is your inner circle? And what does that inner circle mean to you in the industry that you're in?
It's like 3 people. And they're, like, high profile people and, like, they're good mentors to me, and they coach me the right way.
Yeah, we get often from a number of leaders, it's important to have a very trusted, small group of an inner circle, although there might be a few other rings to that. But when they really look at that inner circle, it's very tight and it's a trusted group of individuals who can tell you when you're doing great things and when perhaps you're not doing great things and you can do a little bit better. So, three is
Yeah.
a really good number.
Yeah, I'm a very creative person, so I'll come up with an idea. You know what? And then from there, I'm like, okay, let me just check back in to see if I'm gonna go the right way or I'm gonna be rocking the boat.
Wow, interesting. All right, so who has had the most influence in your life?
My father.
And how did he do that? What was the most, influential thing that he really shared with you?
Um, he supported me. And his family also was in the industry. And he had an aunt that was a very talented pianist.
Mhm.
I can never say that word. I don't know why. um, a musician, I'll put it this way, an instrumental. Um, and he always coached me. Like he saw in me that I was a creative person and that I can, I relate to different things. He was a mechanic, business owner, and I was didn't want to get dirty.
But it's interesting how he helped to nurture that creative side of you that he saw in some of your other relatives, giving you
Yeah.
the ability to kind of really embrace that and move your way of kind of evolving that into a way that you could do something you like that comes natural to you and ultimately can become a business, and
Yes.
allows you to be that entrepreneur.
Yeah. He helped me. I first started doing events, and before I got in, started making money. And I would come home, and he'll make a burger for me. So this, as this, make me like continue my journey.
Interesting. All right, so we had talked to you previously, and you gave us some insight around the biggest failure. But here's another popular question that we've gotten from people. So, what has been your best year of your life, and what has been the worst year of your life?
Well, this year has been the best year of my life, especially because I live in the present and I'm talking to you, an individual who loves music, and for me, that's exciting. And you're talking about another person that I love, which is myself. And also, and I also love the world. So today for me, it's probably the best day of my life because I'm here now. The worst year of my life, maybe when the pandemic happened. Maybe 2019 was it? I lost my car. I lost my shows. I was put on child support. I had no way to make money, and was able to kind of believing in God push through it.
Wow. But those worst years of your life do provide that ability for you to convert it into the motivation and the necessary drive that is applied to you as you kind of move forward to your future. And here you are today, like you said, living a life that you're really happy with and
Mhm.
it's pushing through those real tough times. So I thank you for sharing that. That's a very authentic response that a lot of those who are in our audience appreciate because some people today might be in the worst year of their life and you offer inspiration from that, so thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah.
But I do want to move into somewhat of a business discussion, and you certainly have an array of experience, the launch of the work that you do in marketing, you're writing music, you're performing as a DJ, you do various events. So, what are some of the significant trends that you are seeing that you wanted to perhaps bring to the audience attention in the business world that you're in?
AI is just taking over. I mean, there's no stopping it. It's moving fast. I love technology. Try to keep up with it. It's a great thing. It does so many things for us. It makes us creative people be able to get things done formally faster.
Mm. Do you feel that it takes away some of the creativity that you naturally bring to the arts and entertainment?
I look at it in the aspect of fast pace. The world is moving a lot faster now. So things has to be done at a certain pace. I mean, they just give you an example. Let's say you were taking a ship in 1910. I'll see you in 6 months.
Right.
You know, now, now I just fly back and forward. You know, so everything is moving at a very fast pace. You could still be creative and dig more into your conscious of creating what you really want to get results. I do think AI can be a longevity problem. I do, but at the moment, whoever controls AI will control that.
Interesting. What are some of the misconceptions that you'd like to clear up, especially given that you are in, somewhat of an entertainment world, a DJ world? Like, I guess those on the outside or those who are just going out for a good time would only see it from the perspective of the lights and the music and all of that excitement. But are there some misconceptions about that you'd want to clear up?
Yeah, if you're around the DJ, just know that pressing buttons is just not what he does. There's or she does.
Mhm.
There's a lot of work put into producing the night. There's different songs, there's reading the crowd, there's music involved. There's a lot of stuff going on to make a good DJ get the party going
Mhm.
and having people something to talk about the next day.
So you just unpacked quite a few things. I did just want to maybe ask a little bit of a follow up. So, how many women DJs are there? I mean, do you see a lot of them as you are involved in the industry, or is that one that women are finding their way into gradually?
I seen plenty of women
Hmm.
events,
Hmm.
and it depends. So it depends what the woman wants. I
Hmm.
mean, women trades are different than the men trade in certain ways. So you can find certain jobs
Hmm.
equal to what the man does. But I seen plenty of women DJing,
Wow.
and I actually like when I see a female DJing. I think that's pretty hot.
Wow. So, and I also wanted to ask you, how do you read an audience? Do you know where you want to take them in terms of music as you start, or is there just like a natural evolution of you in, providing a sense of excitement and engagement for the audience that they don't know that they're going to go, or how does that work?
I'm able to read the crowd fast. How you dress, what's the theme of the event, what's the event. If the event planner tells me this is the program, this is the event, when we have a direction, but off the bat, you could just start with things that people will resonate with
Mhm.
and take it from there. I mean, if you see, I'm just gonna be funny about it. If you're in a Latin party, you're definitely gonna be playing Latin music.
Right. That's
so,
fair.
so that is something I have.
So, what is your go-to song that you know everyone will get excited about?
I can never get that right because there's so many different, like, I have to be able to be there to actually be like, okay, this can relate. I mean, I love September.
Okay.
Earth, Wind and Fire. I
Mhm,
think it's a great song to get things going. Serenade the event.
mhm,
There's many different events. I want to dance with somebody by Whitney. That's a popular one.
mhm,
Um, uh, Fame right now. Whatever. Depends the genre, the age. Depends on who wants to dance,
mhm.
and depends who's in the party. Depends where we are in the program.
Right. Yeah.
It takes a lot of parts.
And one other question. I'm sorry, I hate to dive into this, but as I said, I was really interested in interviewing this and getting some of your insight. How does it work when you slow a audience down with a slower genre of music? Is it easy to bring their energy back up, or how does that work?
Well, that is, I take a little step into science.
Okay.
So when I DJ teenager parties, those kids can dance the whole damn night. This is when I become a super DJ the next day. because I'm mixing for 3, 4 hours straight,
Wow,
nonstop. When you have an adult party, they're more easy after 3 songs, go have a drink and, and chill out and then come back to the dance floor and then eventually just bang it out all night for 2 hours.
interesting. Do you find that it's also easy to stop? Like if you have like it's like done. I've done like 5 hours. I'm not doing any more music. Like, how do you like draw that definitive we are done?
I just keep going. I just keep going. I mean, yeah, I never call the cops on myself, but I keep going.
So I do want to ask you there one more business question, and then I want to dive into some of the questions that you really, I think, would tie even deeper into the work that you do. So you had talked about AI. Is there a specific kind of innovation that seems to be a real asset to you? It's somewhat of a breakthrough that has really, revolutionized what you've done in terms of either some of the equipment or the technology that you use?
The way that AI is evolving, it's making a lot of changes. It's For example, you tell AI to make you a song, they write you a song. I mean, it's not a good song because AI is not a songwriter. But the more you talk to AI, the more it gets to know you
Mm,
or who you are. So you, in a way, it is you with memories.
mm.
So it's interesting because you could do a lot more. But then you have to be able to have a plan or a way or a format for you to, you know, understand the whole thing, like a paragraph. What are the things that AI has done for you? What ideas has it given to you? And then from there, you're gonna start to break it down to what you want to write. So instead of physically typing it down, you're more working with your mind.
So the launch of the use of AI really gives you that beginning platform to lift off and, as you say, customize it and convert it more to your voice and your language and your ideas.
Yeah, if for example I told to AI, well, today I'm talking to Greg, you know, and AI would be like, how did it go? Well, it went great. So, so it's a little bit hilarious talking to yourself because it's your memories that is being resemble.
Resemble, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting where it's going. But for example, make me a song if you know how to break down the song. So you have to know, you know, what you're doing. If you're writing a song, if you're writing musical songs, you have to understand what AI is doing for you to put it together with your thoughts. So it just makes it's you by just working with AI. So you get it much more done.
Well, at the end of the day, I think we as humans still are the masters of creativity, especially of our own creativity. And all these tools just can help to make it a little bit easier for us to express our ideas and our thoughts.
Well, not everyone is computer savvy. Let me put that out first. Not everybody likes computer savvy stuff, or like me, I could arm and disarm this computer. you know, not everybody can do that, want to do that, but we are all capable of doing that.
Interesting.
You
Mm,
know.
perfect. All right, so let's move a little bit further. I do want to get some of the insights from you around these questions. So let's start off with what was your most memorable event? I know that you've done a variety, well over 400 events and corporate and social. So what's your most memorable event?
Well, to tell you the truth, my most memorable event will be the last one. But when you have like a legendary event, for example, I was part of Free Larry Hoover concert for Kanye West and Drake at the LA Coliseum, was the VIP DJ for that section. That was a legendary kind of event. So being part of the event is something to remember by.
Do you, when you're in that kind of environment, I mean, is it even more pressure than you would normally have, even if it was a big event because it's celebrity, or how does that work?
Um, for me, it's just me. Well, this is kind of what I'm open format. When it's an open format, I can be myself. So imagine having 400 events, diving into a computer and expressing it out. That's what happens when it's open format and it's me. And then eventually you have the Latinos coming up, and then it gets a lot of fun.
Interesting. So, are you currently producing any new singles? I know that you've been writing, so can you share some insights around that?
Yeah, I'm writing a song. It talks about my travels from California, the four corners of California, Vegas, New York City, now working down to Florida. So I brought down a couple of verses, and now I'm putting the melody together on the piano.
So, how would you ultimately release that? Is it special reserved for when you're performing, or how would you, make the single available once it's completed and ready for production?
Oh, once it's ready, I just put it on Spotify, platforms, iTunes. I'll play it at certain events with Drake and Kanye West, you know?
So, what is your short-term goal?
I'm looking to partner with a company. My manager especially is looking for me to partner up with a company for a year contract where I will go see them when they need DJ services, stuff as this, or events.
Well, and I know this is a little outside of what we were going to talk about, but are you extremely busy during the holidays and New Year's? Like, are you completely booked on that right now?
Yeah, I have an event this Friday. I've been booked this whole months. I mean, I'm busy. I,
Well,
I'm I'm busy, and I'm able to hire other people too to help me.
mhm.
So I have an account manager now. I have a manager. Things are moving well for me. I'm working a lot. I'm blessed to be able to do it every day. I wake up and ask for my thanks to
Yeah,
everyone, and you
yeah.
know,
I should point out I go to Canada, Montreal and Quebec City for the holiday. We usually do Montreal for Christmas, and then we go to the New Year party in Quebec City. And interestingly enough, it's outdoors and they have the most incredible DJ performance. But the first year we went, Boy George was there, and he was the DJ, and it was the most amazing performance. And you're out in like 0-degree weather, but with a great DJ, you don't know the difference. So.
right. That's awesome. It could be raining, man. People are out there. Let's go. I brought an umbrella.
I guess this is kind of a nice segue. So, as an experienced DJ, what would you advise aspiring young people that want to take the same path that you did?
Well, um, I say if you want to be a songwriter, producer, event producer, uh, learn how to songwrite, the formula, because everything has a formula. You want to be a doctor, there's a formula for that. You want to be a lawyer, there's a formula for that. You want to be a producer, there's a formula for that. You want to be a DJ, there's also a formula. Everything's already been done. So, you learn how to songwrite, you learn a music instrument, and you also want to learn music theory. You want to know the values of notes, and you want to also learn marketing and all that stuff. And my best advice that is highly costly, make sure you pick the right partner or no partner.
That's really good insight. I'm glad you shared it in the way that you did because there's a lot more complexity to this than what most might imagine, which is amongst the reasons why we were thrilled to have you share your insights on this particular episode. So, as we kind of draw our interview to conclusion, I did want to ask you what is really considered our most favorite question. So, the podcast is entitled Something to Say, and we'd like to turn it around to you to ask you, so what do you have to say?
Um, Thank you, Greg, for having me here. What to say? I mean, just being here, it's an honor, and getting questioned by you, it's a great thing, and I look forward to seeing this podcast and also more of your podcast coming.
Well, Alexander, it has been an absolute pleasure to interview you and that intersection of passion and the insights that you've given and how it has certainly influenced you through good times and bad times serves as a strong inspiration to our audience. So thank you once again for joining us.
You're welcome.
So, everyone in our audience, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this episode of Something to Say podcast. We encourage you to stay tuned for more inspiring conversations with voices of individuals from diverse backgrounds sharing their passion. So, until next time, this is Greg DeShield signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Something to Say. We trust you found some valuable insights and takeaways that can help you find your passion. Don't miss out on future episodes. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on your preferred platform. We value your feedback and suggestions, so let us know how we can serve you better. Keep the conversation going and stay inspired until we meet again. Take care and happy listening.